Yes, beats.
Fire friend like me, fire friend like me. If you not want betrayal, fire friend like me, fire friend like me, fire friend like me. If you not want betrayal, fire friend like me.
Bombe oh, fire friend let me. Bombe jene oh, fire friend let me. Fire friend let me. Fire friend let me.
Hey, see bestie, the bestie not sweet like my bestie. The bestie da la bestie, fire friend like me.
I say, see bestie wanting to wealthy. Fire friend let me. I hear them say they want me go. I say
Some of them say they want me go,
I say
Some French la oh ah oh ah oh. Some French la oh ah oh ah oh. Some French la oh ah oh ah oh. French la oh ah oh. Hey, see bestie, the bestie not sweet like my bestie. The bestie da la bestie, fire friend like me.
I say, see bestie wanting to wealthy. Fire friend let me. Okoro. They won't step on my blessing, but God get it breaking, huh? Okoro. They won't call it my blessing, but God get it breaking, huh? Okoro.
French, see French, can't see Papa T French, and I want no back for French. Wangolo for bestie, Wango for daddy,
I hear them say they want me go. I say I hear them say they want me go. I say
Some French la oh ah oh ah oh ah oh. Some French la oh ah oh ah oh ah oh. Some French la oh ah oh ah oh ah oh. French la oh ah oh ah oh ah oh. Hey, see bestie, the bestie not friend by my bestie. The bestie da la bestie, fire friend like me.
I say, see bestie wanting to wealthy. Fire friend let me.
DJ Young T.
You got money like Johnny. You funny. Yes, beats.
Video. This is the program Good Evening Liberia. My name is K. Lyndon Chuba. It's such a pleasure and an honor to be here again. Uh, so Liberians are in high gear. The Liberianization spirit is in high gear owing to the fact that Liberia won her first game against Djibouti. And now Liberia is actually playing in his home time. Liberia is actually playing in his home time. There are lots of Liberians who have earlier gone on the Samuel Kayando Sport Complex to look at the performance of our players. A couple of minutes ago, I listened to a lot of Liberians calling on the various radio stations expressing their their expectation towards the game. So it is our optimism that Liberia can definitely perform by defeating Djibouti like they have done during the first leg. So that is what we want to say. Too many things happening in our country, Liberia. Too many things happening in our country Liberia. Interestingly, on yesterday, President Joseph Waka, the head of the state, invited the players of the Liberia national team, as well as accompanied by the new the new coach Mario Marinica. Mario Marinica is doing a fantastic job because you have a very limited time to form the Liberia national team, and at the same time, he had one of the greatest responsibility to face. That is the match against Djibouti. In the first performance, he actually did well. Many Liberians have been applauding him for his level of performance at the level of the national team. But there are lots more needs to be done, and lots more need to be done, especially at this particular time where the soccer star did some incredible job in terms of putting the teams together. And this is a continuated issue. This is not about politics. We need to try to do away with politics when regarding the sporting activities in our country. We need to definitely get to where Liberia was firstly known. So that is the most important thing. Every we all want to see Liberia doing the best they can, and for the betterment of our country, Liberia. This is let's give you what unfolded at the grounds of the executive mansion, and yesterday when the team accompanied by the new coach who is Mario Marinica on the heels of Liberia return match with Djibouti. President Bwaka holds the Liberian national soccer squad. Executive Mansion President Joseph M. Bwaka on Monday, March 25th expressed great pride in the performance of Liberia's nation soccer team, which recently defeated the Djibouti team in the Moroccan city of Marrakech. He praised the team for its courage and hard work to clinch an away win despite the many challenges facing the sport administration in the country. The president comments were made when he received the Lone Star team in audience along with its technical staff and leaders of the Ministry of Youth and Sports in the parlor of the executive mansion. During the meeting, the president commended the players and technical staff for their unwavering commitment in their presentation of Liberia's in football during the period of scarcity of much needed resources. President Bwaka stressed the importance of putting into place proper planning and ensuring that the team is adequately supported in its country. He further expressed his frustration over the constant shortage of resources compounded by poor planning. He vowed to work towards changing the narrative in favor of proper planning to ensure sustained support so as to empower those who represent the country and raise the flag in competitions. An ardent sports lover himself, the chief patron of sports of Liberia paid tribute to legendary soccer players of Liberia who he said contributed to so much to building our country image. He led the audience into a moment of silence in honor of former Invincible 11 goalkeeper Raymond Morton, who recently passed in his heydays of the soccer pitch. Mr. Morton also manned the goalpost for the Nigerian national team. Reaffirming the government's full support to the team, the president expressed his concern for the welfare of the players, who he noted put their lives on the line for the country. He reassured Liberians athletes that this government will pay special attention to the promotion of sports by funding resources and opportunity for the players to prepare for a better future in their local football career. Liberian chief executive lamented that despite the country's long years of existence as an independent nation, it is still unable to host the African Games. He promised to turn greater attention to the improvement of sports by funding the resources to build mini stadiums in the country's capital. The chief patron of sport announced his plan to be present at the stadium to personally witness the Djibouti All-Star return match set for Tuesday, March 26th at the Samuel Kanyando Sport Complex in Kingsby. So um, That is a very welcoming news. The president of Liberia, His Excellency President Joseph Boakai, has acknowledged that there are challenges faced with the national health team. He commended those people. He extended gratitude to some of those players who are currently playing, risking their life. That is why he said they are actually risking their life, and they are putting their life on the line just for the promotion of our country, Liberia. So that is very impressive. The president, however, made a commitment that his government will work with other partners to ensure that we have uh, some meaningful investments in the country. So President Weah did some good works. He did some good work. It was on George Weah time when we had, even though there were some other devastating news that came on former President George Manuel Weah at the time when he was president on the football. But many people expected President George Weah to have actually done more than what he did, owing to the fact that he got to prominence through soccer. So a lot of Liberians, if you ask them, they wanted him to actually invest way more in soccer than what he did. So yes, so President Joseph Boakai now is in the driving seat. We are urging Joseph Boakai to do better than what George Weah has done. So it is good that the president, who is also an ardent lover of sports, I have been reliably informed that the president is a very big fan of the Arsenal Football Club in Europe. So I want to believe that he would be in constant conversation with some other people who definitely improve the situations here on ground. So let's take a short break. When we come back, we have our guest. We have our guest in studio. Shadrach is asking, Shadrach Norin, you are going to bring the game live. Our team is actually at the SKD Sport Complex. It has not been entirely revealed to us as to what our team who are currently at the SKD Sport Complex will definitely bring the game live. But just in case, when there is a possibility in which our team can bring the game live, we will definitely notify the public, and the game will definitely be brought live so that our audience can benefit from it. Because at this point in time, we are getting reports that the stadium is becoming increasingly populated. The stadium is becoming increasingly populated, not even populated, overpopulated. You understand? Even though there are some protocol that have been instituted, but in Liberia now, almost, and whenever they institute protocols, people will have to be backsliding those protocols and other stuff. So let us take a short break. When we come back, we will have our guest in studio. His name is William Bender. He is from the Unity Party. The governing Unity Party, and we will be talking about other issues. There are lots of other debates in the country, the most important situations in the country, even though there are lots of attention, particularly fixated at the games. But we need to discuss the politics of our country. We can just overshadow the favor of the game and forget about the politics of our country, Liberia. So we need to keep talking. So let's take a short musical break.
Lump.
Find a friend like me. If you not want betrayal, find a friend like me. Find a friend like me. Find a friend like me. If you not want betrayal, find a friend like me.
Bombe oh, find a friend like me. Bombe jene oh, find a friend like me. Find a friend like me. Find a friend like me.
Hey, see bestie, your bestie not sweet like my bestie. Your bestie da la bestie. Find a friend like me.
I say, see bestie wanting to wealthy. Find a friend like me. Alienance,
Okay, folks, welcome back again. So, like I said to you, we have our guest in studio now. His name is William Bender. He's not a stranger to our station here. He's been here multiple times, and he is currently here again to keep the conversation fully spirited. So, good evening, William, and welcome to the program. Good evening, Liberia.
Good evening to good evening to our many listeners following the show today.
Okay, come here and experiencing some technical issue. Okay, all right. So good evening again, officially, because we're actually experiencing some technical issue. It has been resolved. So William Bernard is not a stranger to our studio. Like I said, he is here to talk about some of those trending issues in our country. Uh, how is life, William?
Well, life is treating me fair. Uh, at least we don't have the level of stress we have. You know, the elections are over, campaign are over, and everybody now, you know, are relaxed one way or another. So life is okay.
Life is okay. Okay. So there have been lots of other discussions in our country. Some people are arguing that the president Joseph Boakas is actually proceeding wrongly. What do you make of the newest debate about the World and Economic Crime Court? Quickly.
Well, I think the president's steps to establish a war economic crime court is a welcoming one, and I think we all Liberians, and also we all Liberians in Liberia and around the world
Mhm.
should join him in our efforts to to see how best we can have this long-awaited war economic crime courts.
So, what do you have to say to other people who think differently about the war and economic crime code that it should not be prioritized on the first year of the president because he has some other key issues to cater to, talking about the bread and butter issues.
Look, Lana, let me tell you something. We we firstly one of the reasons people believed in former President Leah
Mhm.
in letting him as president was is because at one point in time he was one of the lead advocates for war and economic crimes code,
Mhm.
and many people bought the idea because Liberians we are one way or another tired with the culture of impunity. I think there's a phrase in ethical citizenship that says everyone's accountable. So if people give account for their actions, I think it meant well. It's ethical that when you do something, you should account for it. So the fact that people committed atrocities, take away lives, stole country money, and enrich themselves, just walk away, I don't think is good for any society. So if a president wants to succeed, that should be one of the things that you should prioritize. And Boycott is one person that wants to set a legacy for his generation to create a new path for Liberia, a prosperous path for Liberia. So the issue of him recommending or organizing the War and Economic Crimes Court is a good thing, and everybody that sees it has a wish hunt
Mhm.
or whatever to start to see things on the broad perspective,
Mhm.
because their actions to term the War and Economic Crime Court bias or wishful is detrimental to our society. So when you mean well for Liberia, then you would embrace the establishment of the courts.
Okay, what do you make of the 49 members of the lower house of representatives fixing the signatory towards the amplifications of the war and economic crime code? What do you make? A lot of people say this is quite unusual, and you don't expect the lawmakers, particularly from the lower house, to be supporting this particular endeavor. What do you think is responsible for what for which, of course, we receive 49 members to affix the signature talking about the establishment of the World Economic Crime Court.
I believe that they one way or another they have listened to the crowd of the Liberian people, and they themselves they are tired.
Mhm.
I listened to one interview from Senator Snow.
Mhm.
He said the War Economic Crimes Court, he see it as welcoming
Mhm.
because even though he was taken to court for allegations of economic crimes and he was vindicated,
Mhm.
but the public opinion court still hold him as guilty as a corrupt person.
Mhm.
So if the War Economic Crimes Court will exonerate him for allegation level against him in the public opinion court,
Mhm.
then he willing to have the War Economic Crimes Court being established. So it's like this culture of impunity, this war and economic crimes stuff has been like a dark cloud
Mhm.
over Liberia, and everybody keeps talking about it. Everybody keeps talking about it. It has long been delayed.
Mhm.
So the lawmaker, because Liberia now, the first thing when you want to take state power, people will ask you, "What's your take on the war and economic crimes court?" So everybody now want to prove a point, want to make sure that this thing that the people want, they give it to them. So I think that's one of the reasons that the lower house did what they did towards the War Economic Crimes Court.
A few days ago, Fanatico for the immediate past, not Fanatico for, but Abachi, the immediate past and pro tempore of the 54th legislature, he said he supports the establishment of the War and Economic Crime Court, but there should be a distinction between the War Crime Court and that of the Economic Crime Court. Where do you stand, having listened to him carefully commenting on the establishment of the War and Economic Crime Court?
Well, I personally didn't listen to his interview,
Mm-hmm.
but I also believe that there should be a distinction
Mm-hmm.
because if you cannot try someone who committed crime economically, who
Mhm.
committed economic crime with someone who committed crime to humanity, like murder, rape, and other things. So there should be even though the court will be established, but I believe that there will be separate courts
Mhm.
trying both people that are indicted by economic crime and people who committed atrocity to humanity. So I believe he's right that there should be a distinction between the economic crimes court and the war crimes court, so that people who committed economic crimes should be tried differently, and people who committed war crimes should be tried differently.
Most often, when you listen to people regarding the call for the establishment of war and economic crime code, they often speak about the fact that the culture of impunity have lasted for so many years. How convinced are you that if the war and economic crime code is established, there could be a breach of the culture of impunity?
So, like I said to you, like I
Mm.
said earlier about the phrase in ethical citizenship,
Mm.
when everyone is accountable for their actions.
Mhm.
Like take for example, you are a presenter here
Mhm.
at Foca Online TV,
Mhm.
and you did something unethical,
Mhm.
and the management compromised
Mhm.
your action, knowing fully well it poses threat to the customers or the viewers of this station and also the business, but they compromise you because of one way or another,
Mhm.
fear to take landlord off the show,
Mhm.
or to film the entity and somehow or the manager has a biased manager.
Mhm.
Then, and if it happens, landlord feel comfortable, very comfortable. In fact, other presenters at Fuka TV feels comfortable that for the fact that he compromises talk by issue. I think I can do when I do similar thing, I'll walk away with that culture of impunity.
Mhm.
But if you account for your action, it takes and do something unethical at an entity, and you account for it and you bear the consequence, it serves as a deterrent to your who be predecessor or to or the next person that will come and take the job. So as I think when everybody account for their actions, the culture of impunity, it will help to minimize the level of corruption in our country, because you know for sure that when you do this thing, even if you are not trying in this government, the next government can pull your leg and make sure that you account for what you did.
Okay, let's talk about some people. Sometimes, if you listen to experts who have since been championing the call for the establishment of the War and Economic Crime Code. They said the War Crime Code is not as Liberians see it, but it is also tied to several other issues. What do you make of those statements?
The War Crimes Court is not like
What Liberians see
Liberians
it to
see it to
be,
be.
but it is also tied to several other diplomatic issues.
So they should
So,
they should tell us the issues that the War Crimes Court War
talking
and
about
Economic Crimes Court.
talking about bloodstoring Liberia's relation with the U.S.
I think the international community
Mhm.
encourages countries that have had civil crisis and high rate of economic crimes to take to have the War and Economic Crimes Court established in their regions to help mitigate the issues that they've been having. Because if you talk about war crimes, immediately you say war crimes, people will say, oh, that this is so and so person, that the other person going, oh, that the other person going.
Mhm.
It has been sealed in the minds of even people who didn't experience the war. So to vindicate or to set the precedent that those people who did this thing accounted for their actions and the law take its course.
Mhm.
I think the United States of America is one of our partners that champion justice for all.
Mhm.
So I don't think that the establishment of War and Economic Crimes Court in Liberia will hinder Liberia relationship or do whatsoever with Liberia relationship with international partners.
Oh, you don't think so?
I don't think so.
Okay, what do you what is it? Is it that America has invested so much interest that they are now pushing Liberians against the war to call for the establishment of War and Economic Crime Code? Because under President George Manuel Weah, one of the debates that he had or he was suggesting to the Liberian people at the time was that the government does not have the financial capacity, and the US government said we will definitely provide you the financial capacity. Now that Joseph Boakai is in power, there has been some level of discussions regarding the War and Economic Crime Code. We saw Ben Shan, who came to Liberia on, and she had a conversation with Joseph Boakai, and based upon what the photos we saw, based upon the conversation she and Joseph Boakai had, we saw her giving Joseph Boakai a smiling handshake. What does that mean to us as a country?
I mean, well, for Liberia,
Mhm.
um, the relationship we have to show our international partners that we mean business in this country.
Mhm.
You know, when you let's say for example, Foka Online TV
Mhm.
um, had an experience of brutalizing. Just for example, someone came to Foka TV and or staff here at Foka TV or the staffers at Foka TV
Mhm.
manhandled that person, brutalized that person, and it gives people the fear to come at Foka TV to express their political, disenchantment or to analyze some political issues. Yet the management of Foka TV ignore the actions of their staffers and keep those people at the entity and give them promotions in other lucrative positions at the entity. Do you really think you have a serious partner coming here? I don't think so. Because everybody will be scared that when you go to Foka TV, when so and so thing happened to you, in fact, you will not be protected in the first place. When so and so thing happened to you, the management will not take no actions. But if Foka TV will do due diligence to its customers or partners, people will find pleasure that when you come to Foka TV, oh, the people treat you well, and this is this. Even when they are managed, when a manager do this, they take actions and blah blah blah. People see Foka TV as a serious entity that they will come and invest in, because when you invest in Foka TV, you will get the dividends of your money you put in. So I see that with that I analyze the whole war and economic crimes school thing. We have to show the international community that when something is done, if people commit economic crimes, steal country money, they will account for it. And when the first batch of people starts to account for these things, the next generation to take political power will be scared.
Are you disappointed or having seen most of those perpetrators who committed heinous crime during the 14 wars of civil conflict we had in this country, still operating in the political corridors of our country, mostly at the levels of the legislature.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm frustrated though.
Mhm.
I trust the process, and I think it takes time
Mhm.
for certain things to happen,
Mhm.
and until then, we let it be. We give it a space. We give justice the time, the space, to take its course. I can say that I'm frustrated
Mhm.
because those people we might be thinking will be guilty of economic crimes or war crimes might not be the people that will be convicted.
Mhm.
It might be other people. So for the fact that he has long overdue, Liberians, we keep talking about it, and every president that will come will ignore it.
Mhm.
We have a president that has committed himself to establishing it. It's welcoming and we're happy about it. And I'm sure that those who committed crimes when the war and economic crimes will take full swing, they will account for their actions and Liberia will be free at last. So I'm not frustrated.
Let's talk about the possibilities of establishing a court in Liberia. Some people say, "Oh yes, the court must be established in Liberia." Some people are mostly concerned about the security implication. Are you more concerned about the security implications?
So I think the security implication is one thing
Mhm.
about the war and economic crimes court. But I think the government is wise enough. They're reading between the lines with their international partners, and I trust the leadership ability of President Joseph Lima Barker to make the decision that is in the best interest of the Liberian people. So, if establishing the court in Liberia
Mhm.
poses security threats to the country or its citizen,
Mhm.
I trust the leadership of Ambassador Joseph Lima Barker to do what is right. So, however way it may be, whether the court will be established in Liberia or will be established out of Liberia,
Mhm.
Ambassador Boyka, the international partners, they will be between the lines and do what is best for the country.
Will do what is best for the generally. What are your views regarding the 10U wahala that has surfaced in under Joseph Walker's presidency?
You know, the thing is, the law is the law, and whoever breached the code of conduct, whoever breached the law,
Uh-huh.
should should be should be dealt with
Mhm.
by the law. If the code of conduct states that as attorney officer you should not partake in, so you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, and you breach it, and there are sufficient evidence to prove that you were involved in the so and so, you leave the job for the people. You leave the job. Justice must prevail. We should live by the rule of law and respect the rule of law in Liberia. This is not a state of man. This is a state of law. You cannot just come to a public position and you act based on your own the way you feel. You should have some respect for the office that you hold. So I think those people who violated the code of conduct,
Mhm.
I think they should be removed if after being tried or investigated
Mhm.
and found guilty of breaching the code of conduct,
Uh-huh.
they should be removed from their position.
You just said they should be removed after being investigated, but in the case of what the president's actions were, they were not being tried as other legal pundits expected it to have been. The president's nominated people to replace them in why they were actually serving their unexpired tenure. What do you make of that? Is it that the president was proceeding wrongly?
So I think the president read between the lines.
Mhm.
Um, and if I'm correct, the the kids, those people who is alleged that they were involved
Mhm.
into the violation of the code of conduct, the case has gone to the court, and hopefully by I think Friday, the ruling will be out against them. So
Against Dent?
the
You are
ruling will
trying to
be
pre-
the
you are trying to
ruling
you
the
are trying to
ruling will
preempt
be
the ruling to
the
the court.
ruling, the ruling will be out,
Uh-huh.
whether for them
Mhm.
or against them, the ruling will be out.
Mhm.
But I think there are sufficient evidence that to prove their their guiltiness against the Liberian people.
Mhm.
So the action of the president nominating people to take that position, I think he did it as per he knowledge that he have on the the violation of the code of conduct.
Mhm.
But to be honest with you, I cannot speak for the president.
Mhm.
I don't know why he did it, but what we know in the code of public opinion is that these people violated the code of conduct, and they should be removed.
They should be removed. Uh, uh, During President Joseph Jonas Boakai maiden State of the Nation address, he spoke about the creation of the office of the ombudsman to definitely go after those people who violated the code of conduct. But we didn't see that the president did not wait for the establishment of of the office of the ombudsman, but he appointed people to replace those people who have an unexpired tenure. Probably that one could say that the president was actually proceeding wrongly.
So even the people that the president nominated
Mhm.
to take that position, they they haven't even been to the entity.
Mhm.
They haven't gone there. They have not touched one document relating to the entity. Most of them have not even entered the entity yet.
Mhm.
There are few people that I know that are sitting home or one or another doing something elsewhere, doing their private businesses that were nominated to temporary position, and they are not even seen in the office since the whole cliche of tenure position usually appoint people here started.
Mhm.
Most of them they are just seated now and just waiting for the final verdict.
You just highlighted that the government, you expressed optimism that the government under President Joseph Boakai will definitely come out with a flying color. What is your bridge of confidence that you think the government will definitely win this particular case, this legal wahala?
You know, I'm 85% sure
Mhm.
that the government will win the case against these people. And because, like I said,
Mhm.
even you, Lando, you have access to the social media. You are in some other group chats, and when these political issue arises, the debates we all debated in different chat rooms, and
Mhm.
before you even reach a court, there are sufficient evidence in the code of public opinion that we can look at and say this is it, this is that form. The lecturers from other legal practitioners,
Mhm.
one can clearly say that these people, the government will win the case and these people will be removed.
All right, it has actually been on March 22nd. Liberians are mostly particulars about the fundamental 100 days commitment made by President Joseph Boakai. You, as a Liberian and a member of the ruling establishment, what's your view about the 100 days commitment of the president?
The president 100 days commitment,
Mm.
when you, before he was, in fact, in 2017, 2018 elections,
Mm.
when when he was contesting against former president Weah,
Mm.
he made he said it that within 100 days,
Mm.
no card will be stuck in the mud.
Mm.
Then in 2017, I was amazed when he still had that same phrase, or he said that same thing when he was campaigning to be president.
Was it a lofty statement?
So what I'm saying,
Mm.
I'm trying to have a flashback on
Mhm.
how long Braga has been president.
Then
Braga has
repeating that
been
particular phrase.
repeating that particular statement.
Mhm.
So for the fact that he believed that he can achieve that within 100 days, I think he has those mechanisms in place to score that mark, and I'm very sure that he is working on it. Even though there haven't been any news of I haven't heard
Mhm.
any news of work going on in the southeast or whatever part of Liberia.
Mhm.
But I'm sure that the president knows what he's doing or why he said it. But one thing we will not do
Mhm.
as Liberians is to choose an individual over the country.
Mhm.
If Waika will not keep up with his promises, I sure that he will not say it. And if it poses threat to the country,
Mhm.
we know that our stand to take has partisans or has Liberian. But I'm very sure that the president will succeed in the 100 days promise that he made to the Liberian people.
You sound passionately disappointed. Are you shielding any other thing
No, I'm not.
fundamentally regarding the question that I just asked you?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying what I know, bro. I'm not cheating anything. The facts are the facts. You
Uh,
know, we are all Liberians. We have access to to the news, to the happenings around the country.
mhm.
So if I come here, whatever, in fact, public stuff are not something that is kept under the carpet.
Mhm.
So even only if I'm sharing something, you are a journalist, you are investigative, and there's a possibility that you have the information at your fingertip. Though.
Okay, let's talk about other issues. A few days ago, the draft national budget has been one of the trending discussions in the country. Many people said President that was just what they expected of President Joseph Limampuaka. Even though other people criticized the president's action, there has been some clamoring against what the president did through the Ministry of Finance did regarding the budget, how the budget was how the budget has reduced, has been significantly reduced. The president took a decision to by far reduce the salary as opposed to what President George Weah had. Generally, what is your view regarding those reductions and reallocations of the budget?
So what happened is that I can tell people
Mhm.
that white guy want to set Liberia on the pace of development
Mhm.
and growth. White guy has nothing to lose though. White guy children are well off. There is nothing more I think that woman wants to add to his personal accounts,
Mhm.
but rather to do what is in the best interest of the Liberian people.
Mhm.
What's the essence? What's the essence for the Ministry of State to have 20 million, one ministry,
Mhm.
20 million in annual budget when you can operate clearly with 9 million? So the remaining 11, where are you going? When the hospitals in Tapeta and the clinics in Division 113 in Chocolate City is dilapidated.
The previous budget
The
previous
previous
budget
budget.
interpreter at the time said it was diverted to it was used for operational costs, recurring expenditures, and other economic
So,
jargons.
so Ambassador Waka says that the operational costs and other economic jargons and whatsoever,
Mhm.
you can have all those things achieved in the 9 million, and he and his ministry will work with it. I think it's welcoming for Liberia. We all felt that this old man, Liberians,
Mhm.
most people feel that the old man, suppose used to say, well, go run campaign, they say, well, Pape, when you get it, Pape, oh, the Pape, like, create, Pape, they don't can steal, Pape, want too much money. But the man come out and the man say, the money why they young boy who not can steal, I get the country I had, you are taking is too much for this ministry, and because it's too much for this ministry, I'll reduce my own from 20 million to 9 million. It's welcoming for Liberia. There are other sectors that need to be improved.
Let's look at the budget. Generally, if you look at the budget, one two key components of the budget was not entirely captured. That has to do with the issues about and tourism and agriculture. Many people said some people who have looked at the budget in its entirety to analyze the budget, they have said tourism represents a key component on the arrest agenda. If you look at the arrest agendas, T definitely stands for tourism. Why is it that this year, this 2024 draft budget, they didn't capture tourism?
So to that, I'm always saying here,
Mm-hmm.
we will provide information that we have,
Mm-hmm.
and the one we don't have, we wouldn't bring fallacy to the public. So I cannot defend the actions of
Ministry.
the Ministry of Finance or the President's office. I think the Minister of Finance should come up and tell the Liberian people why tourism is not captured in the budget. But I, as an individual or as a party or supporter of the Unity Party, cannot defend the Finance Minister and at that level.
But let's talk about the reallocation, some of those cuts that the president made, and how is it going to, like, the Ministry of Health? Many people praise the president's action for the fact that he reduced some of the budgets that he said was very, very exorbitant, and he diverted those particular reduced amount to the Ministry of Health and other key areas of government. What do you make of those things?
I think
The
it's
Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Education, the University of Liberia, and other key ministries under his government.
so Joseph Boakai increased the University of Liberia budget from 30 million to 32 million.
32 million.
He increased the
Additional 2 million.
2 million.
Mhm.
He increased the Ministry of Health budget
Mhm.
from 64 million to 75 million.
Mhm.
And to be clear, if you go to Chocolate City Health Facility right now,
Mhm.
you will see that in fact, you wouldn't even want to enter the place.
Why?
The place is dilapidated to the extent
Mhm.
that for them to run a test on you, a public facility
Mhm.
to run malaria test, there is a fee attached and you must pay. And after running all the tests, they will only give you prescriptions until you go to the pharmacy and purchase your medicine. Is that how we should live in this country? We should have trust for public facilities, public health facilities, that when we go there, we believe that even though everything is not totally free,
Mhm.
but we will pay the minimum amount and get a quality treatment. But it haven't been under our get a country I had regime. But this papi now
Mhm.
believe that Liberians should take pride in their health facility. Our health workers should be paid on time. There should be drugs in every health facility that when you go there, 12 o'clock in the night or redemption, they'll not tell you say go back on the road and buy gloves. There should be gloves. There should be enough medical supplies to these facilities. And at the University of Liberia, look at the campus, my man.
Mhm.
You are a student of the University of Liberia. If you enter, I'm not a student of the University of Liberia though, but there are information that students stay 2 years from one class to another.
Sure.
Isn't that enough reason for the university budget to be increased? That's enough reason. If you prioritize education, if you train, if you teach the young generation on a conducive environment, it's easier for you to learn. But the stress of running for chair from one section to another, psychologically, it reduces your level of concentration. Because after running, before you can, the teacher have gone 10, 15 minutes in the class time, and you sweating, you thinking how the sweat will dry from when you start focusing to what the lecturer is teaching. So, work out in his wisdom to take care of all the logistics and administrative activities. That put additional 2 million on the medicine. Let the men do the people work very well.
So sometimes people say that the issues when sometimes when you make an additional allotment to increase the budgetary support of a particular ministry and agency, one key thing you need to exert more emphasis on is the issues of a proper monitoring and evaluations. How prepared is the government to definitely dive into that particular direction?
So when the government can dive into assets recovery,
Mhm.
when the government diving into why an economic crime school,
Mhm.
mind you, when they allot budget to your ministry and you play with it, they'll go after you for it.
What they say.
You have to make account for monies given to you. Because nobody like you will respect you, they will believe that you can serve the country. So we will not compromise the interest of the Liberian people for an individual. We didn't give you the money in the budget is not for you to put in your pocket. The money in the budget is to be given back to the citizens of the country. That will benefit directly from government. That's the only benefit we can get. When you do the people work adequately, the country will the economy will bloom. People will be will have a very good lifestyle in the country.
Mhm.
Then you see things going on fine. But you take government money, will go after you for it. When the Ministry of Finance or the GSC or the LCC not in the move are going, we the citizens will start a protest. Well, we will petition them to go after you for the money, and you must account for monies given to you. That's a step we the Liberian people. I think that's a step we should encourage. People will not come to public office to enrich themselves and leave the ordinary people. What I mean, one of the societal issue that I personally want to solve in Liberia. One of the societal issues that drive me is income inequality.
What is it?
Income inequality.
What does that ideology actually try to say?
The rich people keep getting richer at the detriment of the ordinary people.
Do you see yourself as a man to shift
Of
that?
course, some of us will passionate about it. In the next few months, that's the struggle some of us will start taking. You you come to public office, you do monitoring and evaluation, you supervise, you get a fat salary. The common men are doing almost all the work. He get a little to take care of his entire family, and on top of that, you still steal the people money. That's something we against. I think every Liberians deserve to have at least a comfortable income.
How vocal are you going to be in your loan quest?
We're studying the situation.
And
I did an article on it, and I think I completed the article yesterday. And we're studying the situation. And after we have done our assessment and we are looking at the pros and cons, we start our score.
you will study.
But we one of that it drives me. It drives me a whole lot till I can't hold myself anymore. We have to start talking about it. The international community, the government of the Republic of Liberia, the human rights organization in Liberia should start looking in that direction. We should strengthen our labor law. Our people should have something that when you take it home, you're able to provide for your family, pay your children's school fees, pay your hospital bill, get your life, your family life, your properties insured. It also helps to boost the country.
Do you consider that as an innovation in our border politics?
Oh yeah, yeah. I think most of our politicians are not thinking in that direction, and I think I'm privileged to have thought in that direction, and gradually we will bring other ideological comrades to the debate. We try to sell our ideas with them, and we recommend it to national government.
Recommended to national government. Let's talk about yesterday, why everyone was almost asleep. The president took every one of us by surprise when he released a very long list of nominees, many of whom are subject to the Senate confirmation. And among those persons, we saw Mr. I hope I pronounce his name well, Fidelic K. Wallo, who happens to be the political chairman of Team Cornelia Kratopa as the commissioner. And since then, it has since ingenerated a Pandora box among residents of the township of New Georgia. Generally, what do you make of the appointment of Fidelic K. Wallo?
So firstly, we would like to create a bar.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Fidel Wallo is not the chairman of Team Colonia.
Mm-hmm.
Fidel Wallo served as the chairman of Team Colonia in 2018.
2018.
And that position, a position he left in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So he has long served that position. So he's a former chairperson for Team Colonia.
So 2023, what was the role he was playing on Team Cornelia?
He wasn't on Team Colonia.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Fidel Wallo he had a auxiliary crew that he was running for that supports Joseph Yima Boyka.
Mm-hmm.
But on the broad perspective, I don't think it's on that basis that he got appointed by the president. I do believe that Fidel Wallo has the necessary credential to run the affairs of the township of New Georgia. I came to this studio one time. I said that Waka would appoint a new commissioner,
Mhm.
and that new commissioner will be a qualified and experienced Liberian.
Did you see Fidel Wolo as,
I did.
as somebody who was being targeted by the president?
At that time, no.
Mhm.
I just had a conviction
Mhm.
that Waka, in his wisdom, was going to appoint someone with the knowledge and developmental. So it took me by surprise last night. I was on Facebook, applying for a scholarship. Somebody just called me. Oh my man, your phone. I said what? Say the president just appointed one person has a new commissioner for New Jersey Township. I said who? He said if you tell it what. And as soon as the person dropped the line, to be called me. He said, well, man, I got my job. I said, what? Congratulations. And when you called me just now, I went to a place we had a long talk, and he's ready to serve the people of the township. And I see more innovation
Mhm.
coming to the township of New Georgia.
Generally, generally in a more fair tone, what will you remember standing right for?
I remember standing right for campaigning for CDC, calling District 13, um, council meeting, calling the DYC, calling the DDC, calling the other council to the commissioner office and telling them
Mhm.
that when the money come in the district here, when the president send money here, they don't give it to United Party, they don't give it to CDC chairman. I remember him for that.
But in terms of
Uh,
infrastructure, what do you remember him for?
you know, I'll be very clear with you here. Standing, things happen when people miscalculate.
Mhm.
When the president appointed Stanley Wright, when the former president, uh, Ambassador Dr. Weah,
Mhm.
appointed Stanley Wright as commissioner, I think I came to this station, this TV, and I told the people of District Number 13 and New Jersey Township that Stanley was sent as a campaign chairman for New Jersey Township, not as a commissioner. And after he got confirmed, I came back here. I told the people that to confirm my argument that this man is campaigning, he came to campaign with support from Senator Sahali Joseph and Ella Pape Flomo, Representative Flomo. The man printed a banner to the junction, and he put Senator Sir Joseph, Representative Flomo, and Joshua on the banner, forgetting to know that Moswell County has two senators. And if you are to post senator picture on that banner, you should put the two senators of Moswell County. But he only put the senator that is from his party. But I don't blame him because he's a presidential appointed and he work at the great pleasure of the president. And if you will come brought to the disco a campaign
Mhm.
using public funds
Mhm.
to run your campaign for your political party, I think that's all I can remember standing for. Infrastructure lay, whatsoever thing Standard did was election tactics, it was campaign because I'm getting information that if you have stayed as commissioner of New Jersey Township 2029, you're going to contest as representative for district number 13 while our man Honorable Flomo go has senator of Moswell County. But it's laughable though. Uh, so all the infrastructure, the bus stop to New Jersey Junction, the I think that beauty, I don't know why you're paying that beauty setting or charging boat or paying to Chocolate City Junction. The charging boat to Chocolate City Junction and it went where to Timothy. I think it was campaign stuff and they wanted to Timothy he did it because he felt it could help him to retain the position. So far so good, that's it. But administratively, policy wise,
Mhm.
Stanley is not the kind of person that
You,
this township need.
you spoke about they soon to be commissioners after all he shall be confirmed. He shall be confirmed by the Senate of the Liberian, the Honorable Liberian Senate. You spoke about innovation. What kind of innovation do you think the commissioner destined will bring to District 13?
I've worked with Mr. Wall for about 7 years now. He's result driven.
Mhm.
Um, I know for sure when he's given a task, he 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 push his co-workers to get results and positive results that promotes the entity. When he was serving as the chairperson of Team Colonial, we used to leave the fee campaign in 2018. We used to leave the fee sometime 11, 12 o'clock in the night.
Mhm.
We'll have a target. We must execute that target. So with that, I think he's coming with new ideas
Mhm.
on to the table, but he know his plan. I'm talking from
Yeah,
the
from your own
experience
perspective.
from the experience I've
Yeah.
had with him.
Mhm.
So from the kind of working relationship we've built,
Mhm.
the way he operates administratively, it has yet a yielded results for us in 2018, and the role he played in 2023 elections too also yielded results for the excellency of His Excellency Ambassador Jose Iman Boyka. So I believe that he's bringing new ideas to the table that will revamp the district. One of the things that I heard he said today to me is that one of his target will be to construct a town hall for the township.
Construct a time hall from the
Yeah,
township.
that's one thing he said to me, and I was like, that's a cool idea, though. But let's see that let's try to get all the paperwork done that after your confirmation we get the ball rolling.
Some people say the office of the commissioner does not have much budget, so it requires for the commissioners to actually have a lobbyistic power. How lobbyistic is the commissioner designate?
So I told you the mayor is result driven.
Mm.
So when Waldo says he will try to construct New Jersey Town Hall, he has pre-calculated his steps,
Mhm.
and I think he has some relationship with the executive.
Mhm.
And based on that relationship, we will work around him and to see that his dream come to pass.
The dream come to pass.
Yeah.
Oh, you spoke about which one of the you spoke about he having a particular auxiliary that supported Joseph Juma Bwaka. Do you care to tell us the auxiliary name?
So he literally
Mm-hmm.
he was like a chairman
Mm-hmm.
that controls all of the auxiliary industry number 13, control the UTEP industry number 13, the Nearby Association industry number 13, Youth for Colonial, Chocolate City for Colonial, all the different auxiliaries.
Mm-hmm.
Industry number 13, he brought them under one umbrella. He went to them, brought them, then they established like or alliance or coalition, bringing together Liberty Party, auxiliary. Mind you, there were some auxiliaries that joined later after the representative election,
Mm-hmm.
like Tim Chibo. He went and lobbied with them, brought them over, and they joined the rescue mission and supported Ambassador Braga in the second round. So he had a whole data of auxiliary that he spearhead and they work effectively in district.
It's an appointment of payback appointment. Sometimes when people labor during a political struggle, sometimes the person deemed to be paid back for their level of sacrifice. It's not a payback appointment.
I wouldn't say it's a payback appointment,
Mhm.
but I think he deserved what he has been given
Mhm.
because political rewards on earth is not in heaven.
Okay.
So besides that,
Mhm.
the young man is a qualified man. Fidelis Waro is qualified. Mayu himself has chairman for the Nigerian Sharp community. He has been in and out of local government. He has played a very key role as a chairperson in the township of New Georgia. I remember I think at one point he served as secretary for the district development council of all the chairmen
Mhm.
in district of 13. He was serving as SG for them. So he has a vast knowledge about the township and about the people in New Georgia Township. So based upon his experience, I think that's the reason why the president appointed him.
Sometimes when people ascend to a particular position after he shall be confirmed, you just have a conversation with him. what is the first program he has on his mind?
So we talked though,
Mm,
but the discussion basically was about getting his CV done, submitted to the Senate, and making sure that everything is on track. But we also have an appointment, a strategic appointment because I just passed by, to
mm,
say hi and congratulate him for his appointment. So
mm,
we really didn't go deep, but the first thing he said to me was that he would ensure that this township got a town hall. So I think that is one of the things that is on his mind,
mm,
among the several others, because, like I said, he's an innovative man. He believes in bringing new ideas to whatsoever entity to, that he worked with to improve the entity or the lives of the people that work at the entity.
You as an advocate and have been championing the fact that standards should be removed, and now that the prayer has been answered, uh, do you care to recommend the issues about programs that tailors around unity for the people of the township of New York?
Yeah, we're committed to doing so.
Mm,
Like I said, I have my way around the newly appointed commissioner.
mm,
We've been working for 7 years now, and those things that we dreamed of, the township that we want, we recommend it to him. He looking at it when he's able to work with it or he's deeming necessary at that particular point in time.
mm,
I believe he'll do it. There are a lot of things that need to be done for within this township. The township need to be structured. We
mm.
need to have the district youth council, the district development council, the district elder council. They need to have a constitution. We have to institutionalize district number 13 has a youth leader in district number 13.
Mhm.
That will be some of my recommendations to the newly appointed commissioner to ensure that all these local government bodies, the chairman council, the youth chairman council, the chairlady council, the development council, we should institutionalize it that every community has a constitution probated that they will work with. And this organization has their constitution probated and the terms of reference on how they will work along with the commissioner of it because that he is the direct boss of these institutions,
Mhm.
the council, the elder council, the youth chairmen. He speaks to the community through these people. So if you have it structured in a more refined manner,
Mhm.
that you can listen to the voice of the people through their chairmen, and you guys can plan a program from that angle that will have a direct impact on the life of the people. I think when we recommend it to him, he will listen to it because some of us we have suffered from that, for the fact that our voice has not been heard rightly, and we have been complaining, been complaining. You have one man there running the show, the district youth council since we had meeting. I think it was last year. We haven't had any other meeting. There should be constitution. There should be a law that states that district youth council should meet so time. You guys should plan so programs. We should be innovative. The innovation that comes to the table to help improve the life of the people in the township. So these are programs, these are strategies that some of us will respectfully recommend to the media commissioner, the media appointed commissioner, if he shall be confirmed by the House of Senate.
Okay, let's go back to national politics. President Joseph Jomo Boakai, who many people refer to him as an ardent lover of sport, uh, his first performance with the national team seems to be quite impressive. And now that we have a second life, what is your expectations regarding on how the young side will definitely perform?
Well, I think the discussion the team had with the president was fruitful,
Mhm,
and he's committed himself to supporting the national team fully.
mhm,
And one thing I read on the the page of the executive mansion, the president also promised to be on the field today to watch the Lone Star take on Djibouti. So I think that with the relationship that His Excellency Ambassador Boyka has established with the national team,
mhm,
because he is a lover of football too.
mhm,
So I think the team will work on it. The new coach will want to keep that presumptive with the president, and will make sure that the team will do well in all, if not all, but most of its
You spoke
matches.
about the construction and the diversifications of stadiums in the various countries. Do you think that it's possible for the president to actually achieve those things?
It's possible.
Mhm.
It's possible for the president to achieve those things. You know,
He is not a soccer star. He is not a soccer star as compared to as opposed to what the soccer star we have in Liberia for the last 6 years. He doesn't have the kind of connections and to lobby with other sport partners who may have interest to develop more interest into our soccer arena in this country.
so the soccer star were there,
Mm.
and he said nothing about establishing stadiums around the country.
Mm.
He didn't even build one to international standards. With all the connections and friends he had in the football world,
But
international.
he helped to renovate the STD up to international standard.
So, what I will say to you
Uh-huh.
is this, right? Ambassador Boyka, he's a man of his word,
Mhm.
and when when there is a commitment by the president, that means he has read between the lines, talked to few people that can help, and those people have committed themselves to do so. But even the man who constructed the Anthony Tottenham Stadium,
Mhm.
he wasn't a soccer star. He had love for the game,
Yeah.
and he did it. So at that time, the amount of money that were coming into the country was even lesser. I think White Guy has the ability to go out there and lobby with world leaders and soccer stars to to do more than what and Samuel Carrington did, and to improve the sports in Liberia. I think he has the charisma to do so, and I
Yes.
believe that he will do.
Do you see a better prospects for Liberian footballers
Oh
under
yeah,
Joseph Bakali administration?
oh yeah, oh yeah. I see a better prospect
Mhm.
for the football sector, the sports sector in
Mhm.
Liberia. I believe that the president and the team at LFA will do what they can do to improve the sport in Liberia, starting from increasing the player's salary, their benefits, and things. Because when the player gets comfortable and they are well taken care of, they put their heads into the game. So I believe that he's looking in that direction. If not, we will recommend to the president to look in that direction to help, better off the life of the football star in Liberia so that they can put their head in the game and take Liberia to football game to another level.
What is your individual appraisals relative to the newly appointed coach of Liberia, Mario Marinikas, where he had a responsibility to form the team, to have an encounter with Djibouti, which of course he won, and he is currently on another team. What is your own appraisal?
So I think his game with Djibouti was his first game.
Mhm.
And even though I'm not a follower of sports, most especially football, but I think his first encounter sent a message that he's able to structure the team in a more refined manner to bring out results.
Mhm.
So with time, uh, when he started the team fourthly
Mhm.
and revamp it, train our players, and our players get the necessary
Support.
alimony
Uh-huh.
or uh, immunity.
Mhm.
If they have the necessary immunity,
Mhm.
they will do better. I
Okay.
think he will do better with the Liberian national football team.
Okay, we have talked a lot. There's a need for us to exhaust the conversation. So generally, uh, what other sectors would you like to chip on, and as you await you to give your parting comments?
So what I was saying, I've been saying,
Mhm.
and what we look forward to in District number 13
Mhm.
is for our institutionalized district
Mhm.
that the lawmaker give account for the district monies and projects if to be done in district number 13 be channeled through the district development council. The opinions of the young people or the citizens of district number 13 be heard by the lawmaker. He said nothing other than what the people want him to say at the national legislature because we are directly affected by the laws and things that they do at the national legislature. And the only means we have to channel our grievances is through our lawmaker. So I think I want the lawmaker to start having district sittings on a regular basis. It helps him to listen to the plight of the people of the district and analyze it with his political advisor or a team at his office and try to say what the people of district number 13 want him to say. Start to do things in the interest of the people of district number 13. The lawmaker of recent, I think there was a debate in the hard seat, district 13 hard seat, that the lawmaker submitted a communication to building a clinic on the grounds, a mini clinic on the grounds of the capital of Benin. Are you kidding me? When the clinics, the government facility in district number 13, no medicine there. That's the same thing I talk about. I talk about the income inequality. Those people have hospital slips. They are well taken care of. They have medical insurance. Then yet you're saying there should be another clinic there for them. When the common people who don't have medical insurance.
You as a firebrand intellectual, what are you going to be doing for the next 6 years to ensure that you mount more pressures from
all of our engineering applications? We will see how we can talk this particular income equality thing to the letter that people will start to think outside of the box.
What do we expect to see visible actions from you?
Well,
not necessarily you, but your team as a whole.
So the team, like I said, we are talking to ideological comrades that will come because no means I have the idea on how we for us to handle this issue. Maybe when I talk to one of two persons, they say, "Well, comrade, this is how we can do it. This is how we can do it. Let's take this other way. Let's take this other way." So with my team, in no time, we will come back here to the studio and share our plans with the public. And with that, we know the approaches we'll be using for so far. What we will be doing, what I will be doing for now is selling the idea, making some recommendations, and inviting people to join the struggle to advocate for income inequality to stop it. Because the lawmaker said they must build a clinic there. They must build a clinic on the grounds of the capital. When you go to Chocolate City government clinic, we not find medicine there. The lawmaker got medical insurance. Today, tomorrow, when something happened to him or anybody on the grounds of the capital, they will either carry them to JFK, which is also dilapidated. They will carry them there, or they carry them to Shemex or the Indian clinic to ERW Junction.
Yeah,
thank you. They spend all that good money there. Then we the poor people will left with nothing. It's not fair.
Okay.
So if he starts listening to us, listening to the concern, the burning issues of the people of district number 13, you will not be making that kind of recommendation.
Sometimes when people are engaged into advocacy, people expect them to be neutral. Are you willing to put away your unity party cap?
You know, we campaigned, we brought Brakai to the presidency, but we don't take individual over the country. Liberia is all we have. And if we cannot do what is right, if we see ills in society and we cannot speak to it because we want to seek sympathy or empathy from the power that be, then we'll be causing harm to our generation. This advocacy is to protect our generation. There are young people who went to school, who get the necessary credentials, but today when they go working in it, they're getting little over $250. It's not fair.
Okay. So
the Unity Party and jacket, the Unity Party stuff. I'm a Unity partisan. You can't take that from me. I believe in the ideology of the institution. I believe in the policy of Unity Party. Yet we identify ills in society and we speak to it. Being a Unity Party doesn't take away my voice of advocacy. No.
Being a unity party doesn't take away his voice of advocacy. Some people may be concerned that the fact that you are a unity partisan, you may be engaged into selective advocacies and mount more pressures on other people rather than a unity partisan or somebody who share unity party solidarity with you.
No. When the issue of job, Chairman Tabe should take job, Chairman Tabe shouldn't take job, the chairman want job, the chairman not want job. One person
What was the stand?
that went to say the chairman shouldn't take job.
Why? Why did you think so?
Because
Other unity partisans believe that the chairman is competent, is among the competent breed of unity
yes,
party.
he is.
Mhm.
But if the chairman takes job, you know what happened to the party? The chairman will have to resign.
Mhm.
Has a party chairman.
Mhm.
Then our party will be vulnerable.
But we never saw you make a comment about Mo Ali I or Amos West,
So
who holds a strategic position at PRC.
we are also
Mhm.
pushing that the SG and all other
Stars.
national leaders
Mhm.
to uphold to the code of conduct. If any other person will leave their national position, it shouldn't be the chairman. The chairman is the backbone of the party. Joseph Bagay is the stand-up bearer.
Mhm.
But Luther Tape is the forerunner of the party.
Mhm.
So when he leaves, SG12 leaves, Fascia Topa leaves, Fascia Brian leaves, Fascia Ben Fufana leaves. What happened? The party is vulnerable. And some of us, we see it from that angle and we're ready to dive into it. I talked my colleague out of it. All the protests that were going on to the president's house, you wouldn't even identify a single youth coordinator in that protest. There were just few handful of people that were causing that commotion because we understand the politics of our party and we don't want to put our party in a situation that we as a partisans will regret.
All right. So sometimes if you listen to partisan, a large number of European partisan, they have complained that they are no longer prepared to turn power over to, and they are no longer prepared to even lose their power through a democratic process because owing to the fact that the citizen-led government put this country into what they believe as the dystopia. What do you believe? Because if you want to maintain power, you have to be doing things that is in the interest of the people. How is the Unity Party willing to ensure that they can have an interest, a vested interest with the Liberian people?
So I listened to the DMDA and the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs,
Mhm.
Madam Colidia Kratopa,
Mhm.
in her interview at the or hearing at the Liberal Senate,
Mhm.
and she went direct when Senator Delon asked her take on the code of conduct about resignation as a national vice chair for Inner Party and National Election Commission
Mhm.
affairs.
Mhm.
And she said to him, right, that if we believe in the constitution of this country, we believe in the rule of law, and if the code of conduct demands that you resign your political position at your party level and we deem it necessary, we will uphold to the law that govern this country because we has Unity Party has a party
Mhm.
were against CDC for breaching the rule of law. We campaigned, we used that propaganda and we went with it and we were successful. So we will not come back to follow that same suit. So I think our partisans, our senior partisans, they are committed to uphold the constitution of this country, the code of conduct, and they will do everything to keep the interests of the Liberian people in Unity Party. That when and Ambassador Barker leaves the picture, we still have a say in the politics of our country, and we will have the respect
Mhm.
that the party have always had.
Sometimes if you listen to other people, the country is aging. There is a need for other persons to definitely succeed Joseph Waka. Now, even though we are not close to election, but election is not far away. 2029 is just around the corner. Who do you think can definitely represent Joseph Waka because of his age and condition?
Let me tell you something.
Mhm.
Before I came here, I was telling somebody. I said, Unity is not built around individual.
No, I don't
No,
think so.
no.
But generally, people look at Joseph Waka as the face of the party.
That's how people are looking at Ellen as the face of the party.
Mhm.
And when Ellen left, Waka came. So to tell you that this party,
Mhm.
this massive party, this unique party, party of scholars,
Mhm.
is not built around an individual. There's an institution that is well organized. That who leave, who stay, who still have the strength to serve as tenant bearer, who don't have the strength to serve as tenant bearer, the party will operate fully and they will be fully represented in all political elections. That's the conviction
Mhm.
that we have. We believe in our party so much to do the right thing and from the constitution and from the things we've seen, the debates we have held from conventions to conventions, we know that unity party is not built around an individual. Because the Barker is the center of unity party, but if after his presidency,
Mhm.
if he leaves the political arena and resigns for politics, unity party will still have its space.
The larger block of the unity of the Liberty Party during the uh, presidential legislative election, we saw the large block or a large segment of the Liberty Party join the Unity Party and together they form an alliance that led them to victory. Is the Unity Party thinking about having a merger with the Liberty Party?
Well, I can speak to that
Mm.
because I'm not the vice chair for Interparty.
Mhm.
But I think if it's necessary that the alliance hold,
Mhm.
Unipal will do all it takes to keep the alliance. We did it.
In the light of expanding the party?
We brought the tripartite together.
Uh,
We brought the tripartite together.
Mhm.
That document was signed at the headquarters of the Unity Party.
Mhm.
The alliance, we brought the alliance together. Unity Party, like I said, is a party of scholars who will know our way around. If it's necessary, if it's in the interest of the Liberian people that this alliance stands to do what is in the best interest to develop this country, our committee, our governmental committee, the vice chair or inner party will do what it takes along with the National Executive Committee to keep this alliance in the interest of the people. Because with the folks from Liberty Party, United Party, MDR, if they succeed,
Mhm.
when this government succeed, I don't want to say if,
Mhm.
when this government succeed,
Mhm.
we the Liberian people will be sure that this alliance is what this country needs, and the party will go on to withhold this alliance to help do what is right in the interest of the Liberian people. And I'm sure that Boakai, Unity Party, and its alliance will succeed, and the Liberian people will massively.
One of the fundamental reasons why Liberians voted President George Manuel Weah out has to do with the issues about unemployment, the ratio of unemployment in the country. Many youth were out of jobs and other issues. What are the plans of the Unity Party? Does the Unity Party have a plan to definitely tackle that particular issue? Just because it appears to be a national security risk.
So if you look at the president's the president's platform,
Mhm.
his
His
manifesto,
And
the arrest manifesto.
Mhm.
When you try to tackle each of the letter
Mhm.
within that word, you will understand that when it's done adequately well,
Mhm.
there will be a space for Liberians to get employed. Apart from getting employed into the public, into the private, the public sector, the governmental sector,
Mhm.
if the agricultural sector start to grow
Mhm.
and people start to make fun, even myself will go back in the bush and start making fun because I know that when I make my fun today, tomorrow I will get so out of it. Companies will come to Liberia and Liberians will get employed. So that's the thing. I believe that when the president and his executive team start to tackle these entities, these sectors like the educational sector, like the agriculture sector. Like today, the superintendent of MCSS posted on his Facebook page. Jim Momo posted on his Facebook page about new ideas that he thinks about bringing to the table. And I believe that when he implement those ideas, it will give room to employ more teachers at the MCSS and will also pay them adequately well, and the Liberian students will get the rightful education that is needed. So with the level of experienced people getting appointed in the governmental sector, I think that they will revamp their entities or their various sectors they are getting appointment to create job avenue, to bring foreign partners to the country, to invest in the public-private sector, to employ more Liberians, and to give the adequate service to the citizens of the country.
Global Liberians and give. Let's talk about other important issues that has to do with Liberians have been mostly over the years, for decades and decades, been fixated to these issues about subsistence farming. Is it that the new administration, which is always keyed about improving the agricultural modalities in the country, talking about improving the agricultural sector from to gravitate from subsistence-based agricultural activity to a commercial-based agricultural activity?
Well, I think with the level of experience that the president have in the agricultural sector,
Mhm.
he's an expert there. Though. The president did well when he served as agriculture minister for this country,
Mhm.
and I think he still have that vision of refining the agriculture sector. You know, even at my backyard,
Mhm.
we got a whole potato green garden there, and we can eat all. Once in a while, people come around to buy. They sell. They cook in the house, and people carry in the market. They sell.
Mhm.
If the government, if the president and Lords, come up with some new ideas to empower local farmers,
Mhm.
bring the necessary chemicals, the necessary materials, the necessary seeds to be planted. I think we will graduate from that.
Do you see agricultural, commercial agricultural activity as the way forward to improve our country agricultural sector?
So when the president invests, when the government invests in the agricultural sector,
Mhm.
and the local farmers are able to produce more, yes, I think it will help improve the agricultural sector, because when you have paved road to sell your commodity, when you produce it, it's fresh, it come in town,
Mhm.
people buy it, it improves the lives of local farmers, it grows the economy, it also boosts the agricultural sector.
Generally, generally, what is your view about this whole power crisis in the entire country? This is something that is actually creeping to be a national issues in our country
In terms of
in terms of the way the numerous power outages we experience in the various communities across Montserrat County.
so I got an information. I I got an information yesterday in one of our chat rooms,
Mhm.
and still waiting to confirm it. I think it talks about the World Bank approving 600 million for the establishment of a new hydro in Bon County, and the initial payment of 300 million
Mhm.
will be given to start the process. So I think the president is looking in that direction, and subsequently power, the, the energy needs of the Liberian people will be met, because electricity is life, bro. Some of us, when it's at night and electricity go, you leave the room, you come outside and take fan, defending yourself, because it's uncomfortable for you to sleep in the darkness, and at the same time you're in heat.
All right, based upon you have been here for a very long time, you understand the dynamics of how LEC has been. Some Liberians have been calling for the dismissals of Money Captain. You have understood the situations, you know the situations, you know how the LEC behavior, especially during the course of the drought season. What is your view regarding this whole LEC? Is it that you support the dismissals of Money Captain, or you want the government to develop another way around?
Well, I think I support the dismissal of Monica Tan.
Mhm.
And
Why?
one of the reasons is gross insubordination
Gross insubordination.
to the office of the president. We have gotten some information that people appointed to the National Legislative Corporation, the Money Carton have refused to work with them. The board chair, including the board chair, he has refused to work with these people, and I think it's a disrespect to the president. "Quote unquote," you haven't been.
Do you see the president exerting such power?
Well,
anytime soon?
Well, I can say for sure
Because this is gross insubordination led to the dismissals of the deputy director of NASCO. So this is something that the president doesn't take lightly. Do you think President Joseph Waka will definitely exercise his power on him?
Sure, I see that happening. I see that happening, and apart from that, Monica Carton has not really been doing well in terms of electricity supplies. So the president has to leave to go Africa and go and negotiate with all the money that has been put into the electricity corporation. So if the president has to leave to go another country and negotiate for power supply, where there is a sitting CEO that have been receiving government money,
who's supposed to be lobbying
on behalf of the country to get more energy supply, I think he has reached to the point that he leaves the job. Besides, he has been there like forever. He's not the only Liberian that knows how to run electricity affairs in the country. He should give space for other people to come and serve.
Sometimes if you listen to Manny Captain, he oftentimes speaks about the issues about how outage the government is holding and other things. Do you think those are genuine issues for which, of course, Liberians should definitely experience this level of crisis, electricity crisis?
So it's negotiable. Just what I said. If the country is owing, the president went to the people and negotiated. And I learned that they are planning on making some payment to the company for the money they owe. Money Carton would have done the same thing. Or former president we have done the same thing.
How do you view the president's visit to Africa and also Money Carton following him and this joining the team and all of them go there? How do you view it? Is it that Money Carton was unable to do it, that the president had to take him there, so let's go and solve the issue?
I think so. I think he was unable to do it, so the president had to step in, because I think the president who is literally is also affected. Even though he has the facilities and he don't run out of power, but if you not have a goal and more chapel. So the president house is fully electrified in rehab where your neighbors don't have lights.
So the president is actually the goal and the other people.
At that particular point, when everybody else don't have electricity and the president won't get electricity, he's the boy among the chapel.
So automatically, even the goal, we're not
glow. So it doesn't. In fact, it doesn't seem right. I think it doesn't seem right to him.
It is inconsiderate here.
Yeah, that he's enjoying power and his neighbors or the country as a whole is out of power. I think that's the reason he went out to negotiate with the Avoidant and the power supply company to see how best that they can increase the energy supply to Liberia so that we can have a stable electricity. But Monica on the overstay. Overstay, he has stayed very long there without results, without adequate results. So I think he should be removed. We should have other qualified Liberians to come and serve. And for the fact that he was sent presidential appointee back to the minister or back to the president office is gross insubordination, and he should be dismissed for it.
He should be dismissed for it. Let's talk about the views pertaining to this whole breast wahala, because breast is our staple food and it is also one of the political commodities in this country. What do you make of some Liberians are now saying that the rice price is becoming increasingly high? What do you have to say pertaining to that?
So we listen to the executive order. We also the executive order that the president released on the reduction of tax on some commodities, including rice. So I think that the Ministry of Commerce, Chairman Moda, Minister Moda, is and his team are doing what they can do to try to reduce the the price of rice in the country. I think that was the first step that the president looked at and released that executive order to reduce the tariff, the tax on the import of rice in this country.
When do you think Liberians could definitely experience the positive effect of this Earlier on, we have William Bennett in our studio, and he happens to be a ranking member of the governing unity party at the level of the district, and he has been able to talk about many other issues pertaining to the establishment of the War and Economic Crime Court. He spoke about the proclamations made by the president regarding the issues about the proliferations of the prices of rice in the country and some other issues he talked about. He talked about the tenure position issue, and he talked about other key issues surrounding our country, Liberia, and how we intend to drive this country. But he expressed optimism about the president's ability to be able to live up to the 100 days commitment that has to do with no Kyle. We get stuck in the mud, and all the rules, all of the major rules will be applied. Those are the key commitments that were made during the president, and it has since become an argument since President Joseph Waka was sworn in as president of the country. Yeah, so we will go over to William Bender to give us his party comments because we are actually pressed up with times and other issues. So William, you are most welcome.
So I'll say thank you for inviting me over, on your show. It's always a pleasure to be here. And I would like to end with inviting some inviting people who share the same idea
Mhm.
to fight the income inequality problem of Liberia, so that the masses of this country can benefit from the work that they do. Because if you our country people are middle from here to above, you just work. At the end of the day, you just take home a little that can only feed barely feed your family. where there are other people in that same company that are making thousands of dollars, and the common people are strangulated. So I think that's one of the main issues we should talk about as young people. We should recommend to the national government. You cannot have an individual in your entity that's making 10,000. Then in that same entity you have an individual there that is making 75, $90, 150. I think it's unfair, and we should start to talk about it as soon as possible because we have to benefit from the work that we do, and until those problems are solved, we start to see real development in this country because we are we the citizens of the country, we are the ones to develop the country. So if I can barely save from my salary, I will not be able to build, I will not be able to send my kids to school. So until these issues are addressed, then we start to see real development in Liberia. So if you share this same idea with me, you can just reach out to Lander or reach out to me on my Facebook account or the district office, you notify the district office at Nigerian Chap, so we can brainstorm about it on how and talk about how we can present our arguments to national government. So far, I say thank you, Lander, for inviting me.
All right, thank you, William Bender. Thank you for always being with us whenever we call upon you. So at this point in time, folks, thank you for those of you who are closely following the conversation. It has been a fascinating conversation. You know, the man is a tough, he's a firebrand intellectual, and I definitely appreciate him for always coming to our call whenever we call upon him. He is one person who will say, "Oh, my man, I will always, I will be there. Once you call me, I will come, I will come." I will come, and definitely he will come. He's not, he's not the kind of person you post trust in, and he will definitely let you down. So on this note, this is how I want to appreciate all of you, Shadrach Norrie and a host of other people who have been closely following our broadcast but refuse to comment. So tomorrow we will definitely have another presentation here on tomorrow. It's the program Good Evening Liberia. My name is K. Lyndon Chokba, and I want to say bye bye from my end.